Hi everybody, this is Alchemist2 and I'm back again with another movie review. I had taken quite some time to actually get to Sucker Punch, and honestly I'm glad I waited for it, but it was nothing short of epic, and I was just mesmerized by it from start to finish. It is a true mind bender in every sense of the word mind bender. Um, it is a twisted version of Alice in Wonderland, and it's very psychological and allegorical in the way that it's done, and it always keeps you guessing. There are lots of twists and turns, and it's quite labyrinthine. I really like Baby Doll, though she's really twisted. Um, I felt like the movie was utterly unbelievable. I just saw so much CG and action and explosions with the good plot underlining it that just made it a movie of its own accord. I've never seen anything done like this before. The only thing closest to it would be Waking Life or Through a Scanner Darkly or Paprika. Total Recall, I think, has done that as well. They're doing a remake of that, and I don't know if I should see it or not, but it has the same elements as Sucker Punch does, believe it or not. I think that Total Recall had the idea of entering into an entirely different realm, the realm of the mind, and the mind is something I think that has really intrigued us as human beings, and what differentiates the mind from the brain. That is a question that we're still just unable to answer, because I don't think that we know how to distinguish the two yet, where one stops and the other begins. That's what this movie is about as well. Where does fantasy start? Where does fantasy stop? What is reality? And it's actually pretty existential, and I didn't really notice that for the longest time, and I thought, ooh, this is getting really deep. And the whole idea of who's really in the person who's really in charge of your own destiny is yourself, and actually received quite a bit of inspiration from that, because I do feel that that is true. As far as movies are concerned, I give it 4 stars. I know it got a lot of bad reviews, blah blah blah. I don't want to hear it. I loved all the characters involved. I thought that the ending was a very different kind of twist that I did not see coming. I love the dream worlds that Baby Doll enters. They're just fantastical and unbelievable. It truly is a mind trip by all other definitions, and it kind of reminded me of the Matrix and of the philosophical elements and that of reality versus fantasy, and who is truly in control, whose story is this, and all those other themes that made the Matrix so deep and profound and analytical in the way that it was done, and just it really was an incredible film, and the soundtrack was very befitting it, I felt, and it had this raw sex appeal, I think, as well. And I have to admit, and I'm not gay, but every single woman involved was very beautiful, I thought. And Baby Doll had this innocence about her, but she really wasn't innocent. She was hardcore. So that was kind of an irony, and it was duality. I thought the duality was very intriguing, and duality played a theme throughout the whole film, and it just was unbelievable. I absolutely adored it. All my questions were answered at the end, though I thought it was, it wasn't the ending that I would have wanted for the main character, but I just felt that there was no other way to have ended it. It just made more sense that way, if that makes if you can comprehend that. But other than that, I recently finished Dreamer. It is now available on fictionpress.com. I'm currently working on Cosmic Ray, which is a sci-fi action-adventure romance. I will be working on Queen's Consort with it, which is another fantasy story. It's a romance as well. I will also be writing League of Extraordinary Gamers, which my friend actually pointed this out to me, and I didn't think of it, but it's kind of like Wreck-It Ralph, because you've got different characters, except these are not video game characters. These are real-life people who are going to GamerCon, and they've been given the chance of a lifetime to win $1,000, with which they can do whatever they want. But all my characters have a different genre, a video game that they're very, very good and adept at playing. And that's the same thing with Wreck-It Ralph, because Ralph himself is a parody of what was it? Rampage? Yeah, Rampage. And and they have different video game characters from different genres, like horror and fighting and fantasy, RPG, etc. And that's the same thing with this, except it's real life people. And they compete against other people involved in this competition for this big purse. And they can do whatever they want with the money, and I think they're going to put it together for their college fund, which I think would be the most responsible and just intelligent thing to do with that money, and split it amongst themselves. But I haven't begun writing it yet, so I haven't really figured out what I'm going to make my characters look like, but I'll get to that eventually. But I'm going to actually show you what Ray looks like. She is renamed when she is found on Earth, and there's a long story about the forgetfulness that my main character has when she finds her escape pod when it lands on Earth, and that there's a huge apocalyptic event that occurs before this happens. It's kind of like Superman in a way, but not quite. But that's Sulia. That's her Earth name. But her real name is Ray, R-A-Y-E. But I really like Ray because she's a very protective character, and she's got a lot of different abilities that she uses to help others, especially her family. And then she realizes that she can use these for good and defeat her enemy when they come, because she has a nightmare about that. She explains that she feels like her parents are contacting her from the great beyond, and to warn her that the great enemy of the Veratos, and she's the last Verato in existence, the Klaxon, they're coming to kill her, and anything and everyone that gets in their way, they are also going to die. But basically that's about all I have to tell for now, and I will be watching Go for the Gold tonight, so I will do a review of that. So, catch you later. Ciao!